I felt like going live about this real quick because something needs to be said about a specific user. A user known as Thundershy Official, a user who seems to have this immense hatred for G5. And then they decided in my server to act super childish. I can actually show what they exactly said too. I'll actually share my screen so I can show you what exactly happened in the server because honestly, this is just appalling that they decided to act this way. Basically, it starts here. Basically, they they decide to tell Caroline Cat that their opinions suck and are out of place when honestly, yes, G5 has its problems, but in my opinion, it's not a bad show. It just has some stuff that did wrong. Blame the writers, not the show itself. Because mainly, if they had better writers, it would have been better. So, and it's kind of funny. They claim that Pony Life is better than G5. Even though Pony Life was technically slice of life, just like most of G5 was, it's not really the same type of series that G4 was. Most of G5 is more slice of life than actual serialized. It's more slice of life and less serialized for the most part. And one thing I don't get is they keep thinking that it's okay to paint, to do this. And honestly, they just act freaking stupid, honestly. In fact, they act freaking childish, as you can see here. They think that behavior is acceptable. Heck, I actually called them out on it and actually pointed out what rule they are basically breaking. They have to treat in my server treating each other with respect is actually mandatory. Because honestly, really, it's okay to have disagreements. But if you decide to act childish, just like Thundershy over here, then honestly, you really don't belong in my server. You're going to act that childish. I mean, it's one thing to dislike a show. It's a whole nother to go and act super childish about it. Because really, people are allowed to feel how they feel, and no one's opinion is trash. And honestly, Thundershy, you are childish for saying that. For completely just calling someone's opinion trash. That's not cool and that's not okay. And I thought you were cool. I actually enjoyed talking to you till you decided to pull this shit. And then when I enforced the rules and time you out after you were clearly breaking server rules. You decide to kick me from your group on Facebook, which is totally unfair because of really the whole issue took place in my server, not your Facebook group. So really, the fact that you decided to kick me from a Facebook group over something that happened on Discord just proves the kind of person you truly are. You're childish and petty. That's what you are. Childish and petty. Yet you get mad at me over the fact that I actually enforced my own server rules by timing you out. You are lucky that I didn't straight up ban your ass with how you were acting. Yet you expect me just to tolerate this toxicity. Because really, I'm not abusing admin, nor am I doing it, nor did I do anything wrong here. I was enforcing my server rules. So really, it's your issue that you decided to throw a hissy fit over it, not me. Because honestly, you just showed the type of person you truly are. Because honestly, you decide to kick me from your Facebook group over you just being timed out. I was just doing that so things could cool down and things wouldn't escalate further. But I'm the bad guy here over me enforcing my own server rules and actually deciding to act like an actual good leader for once and actually enforcing stuff. Honestly, you're the person that's on bullshit. I legit was just wanting, was just doing that so things could cool down. I wasn't doing anything to abuse my admin privileges. It's literally one of the server rules. I was literally enforcing one of the server rules. So you can't really claim that I did anything wrong. What you should look at is the fact that you decide to act petty and kick me from your Facebook group when the whole issue happened on Discord. And you blame me for getting upset. I was just doing what I was doing so things could cool down and everyone would have time to cool their jets. I wasn't intending to do anything bad. I was just enforcing my server rules the way any server owner would have. I mean, wouldn't wouldn't anyone basically do similar stuff if someone was acting that way? Because honestly, in my opinion, if someone is breaking server rules, the people who run the server have every right to enforce said rules. And honestly, I did nothing wrong here. But yeah, honestly, Am I right, Madam LaFluff, that I'm in the right here to enforce my server rules? Since literally Thundershy literally was acting childish and petty in my server, and they had been starting shit with Caroline since Caroline basically previously ran into them, and Thundershy had been being super petty and childish about it when they could have just calmly tried to just wait for me to respond. But instead, they decided, hey, how about I kick someone from my Facebook group without giving them a chance to? I mean, really, rules and rules. I was just enforcing my rules. The rules are there for a reason. It's to keep the server in line and to make sure that no one just goes about, goes around just breaking rules willy nilly. Because honestly, I was just doing, honestly, how Thundershy is acting is just freaking childish. I mean, all of this, all of this BS is literally because they have a hate boner for G5. That's what this whole thing started over. And then they let this petty I see what you did there, but yeah. They get mad at me for enforcing my own rules. Because that's what this boils down to. I basically enforced my server rules, and they get pissy about it. If they don't want to get banned, then maybe not act childish and not just act like a complete idiot. I mean, they were clearly, yeah, that's what this whole entire thing is over. That's why they're being so petty and childish, because they hate G5 and Caroline disagrees with their hatred of G5. I mean, really. You get mad at me for enforcing my own server rules. When really the rules are the rules. Point blank fucking period. Rules are rules. I might have created them, but I'm the one who has to enforce them. And honestly, you just showed your true colors of who you truly are. You think that this behavior of yours is acceptable. Heck, Thundershy should have been aware. Pissing me off is a big mistake. I mean, they should be aware. I am literally not only I'm not, I'm just not someone to upset. And the fact that they pissed off someone who's not only related to Discord, but also related to Queen Luna, honestly, that was a big mistake. A big freaking mistake. Lesson of the day: don't get in the freaking kitchen if you can't take the heat. If you can't handle the consequences, then don't poke the bear. You're the one who pissed me off. Don't get mad when I react and call you out on your bullcrap. Because honestly, I actually thought you were cool. I actually thought you were chill. But honestly, with this, Thundershy, you basically showed your true freaking colors. True. But you get what I mean, though, right? They get mad at me, for enforcing my own server rules. Which technically, since I own the server and I created it, it's my right to enforce the rules as I see fit. Which technically, I did write the rules. And as such, I need to enforce them. Since technically, that's actually my right. I need to enforce the rules. So, Thundershy, if you end up seeing this, just know you did this to your freaking self. Because really, it was just going to be a temporary thing. I wasn't going to do anything else. I was just doing what I did to allow things to cool down, and I would have actually, untimed you out at a later time when things had cooled down. After all, it is my right to enforce my server rules as I see fit. So really, the fact that you decided, through God knows why, that you wanted to piss me off today, honestly, it just shows how much of an idiot you are. You're basically tackling the wasp nest. You literally destroyed the wasp. You literally started irritating the Yellow Jackets and expected yourself not to get stung. Like, seriously, Thundershy, how freaking dumb are you? You literally messed with the Yellow Jackets and expected yourself not to get stung. I mean, and technically that is a euphemism, technically. I don't mean actual Yellow Jackets, but you basically get the point that I'm trying to make. If you don't want to have someone... Don't worry, I don't condone harassment either. In fact, I want no one to actually go and... I actually don't intend harassment, honestly. I'm just saying how I feel, honestly. because of really, this is dumb. I got kicked from a Facebook group over something that happened on Discord. How freaking dumb is that? Like, seriously. That's freaking retarded. I'm not even doing drama, honestly. I'm just getting my point across, saying how I basically feel about this stupidity. Because really, I got kicked from a Facebook group over something that happened on Discord. I mean, if I had went into Thundershy's group and started posting stuff related to them, like pinging them and all that, and harassing them inside the group, and actually targeting them, I would have understood if I was actually legit looking to target them. But since I just went and timed them out for like a day or so, the what they did doesn't honestly make any sense. You literally decided to kick me from a group chat over me actually expressing myself and actually enforcing my rules. Since it's my server, I will run it how I want to. Honestly, I can bet that Thundershy is probably going to end up seeing this. And honestly, I hope they get the point I'm trying to make get across. Heck, I literally put a link to StreamYard in in the chat. So really, Thundershy, if you want to come and express yourself to me, go right ahead. If you want to come and talk, go right ahead. But just know, really, it's not on me that you actually ended up actually, making me this pissed. It's the fact that I got kicked from a group chat when really I did nothing to you. I literally didn't do no wrong. I actually had no issue with you either. I was just gonna mute you temporarily, I was just gonna go and time you out temporarily, and then that would have been that. I would have left it be, and everything would have been solved. But no, you decided to be freaking childish and petty. Like, seriously, aren't you supposed to be a full grown adult? Yet you act like a freaking kid. I mean, seriously, this isn't freaking science. This isn't freaking, this isn't freaking rocket science. This is, honestly, at this point, this is freaking common sense. Like, seriously. Do you not know what freaking common sense is? Or know what basically knowing how to run a server properly is. All of this over a freaking cartoon show made for little kids. That's what this is freaking over. A cartoon show that wasn't even meant for for adults in the first place. It was literally targeted at kids. Yet Thundershy gets mad that it's not like MLP G4. Y'all be okay. I'm just expressing myself, honestly, because honestly, this is bullshit. They let a freaking cartoon show control their life that much to where they act like a freaking toxic bitch. All of this over a cartoon show. Like, seriously, Thundershy, do you not realize how freaking childish this is? You let a cartoon show turn you into an asshole like this. A cartoon show. Right? Yeah, looky here. It's freaking. Here's a good example of who not to be like. Freaking Thundershy. That's one example of who not to be like. Yes, a freaking course. But yeah, note, do not harass anyone I'm talking about in this video because I do not support or condone harassment. Because all I'm doing is expressing myself, to be honest. Just using StreamYard to vent about how I'm feeling, about how just dumb this is. So do not go and contact or harass Thundershy. They might be a freaking idiot and they might be freaking childish, but do not go and harass them. But yeah, if you're looking for friends that are actually gonna be good and won't be toxic, one person that's definitely toxic and is likely to act in a toxic manner, just know that Thundershy is literally just not a good friend. They are toxic and they care more about their beef with My Little Pony G5 than friendship. Because all they care about is being right about everything. Yeah, pretty much. They only care about their beef with G5. Since that's obviously what they're so concerned about. Since they care more about a kid's show that wasn't even meant for adults. Heck, Friendship is Magic wasn't originally meant for adults either. It was literally marketed towards kids. So the fact that adults ended up being into it, honestly, that just proves how dumb some people are these days. dumber than a freaking German cockroach. Dumb is gonna dumb. Dumb is gonna dumb. And honestly, I love the fact that you use Fluttershy as your PSP on both Facebook and Discord. Yet you don't even freaking act like Fluttershy. You act like the exact opposite of Fluttershy. Because Fluttershy would have been understanding and would have respected other people's opinions. But you're a toxic asshole who only cares about your beef with G5, since that's all you care about. But yeah, I hope you feel freaking proud of yourself, knowing that you literally chose G5 over anything and everything else. The fact that you hold on to that hatred towards it so much that you would literally trade anyone else in return for it. That you would literally focus more on hatred than anything. But yeah, Thundershy, or whatever other name you want to go by, I hope you feel freaking proud of yourself. You basically proved that you're not a good friend. You care more about hating on one generation that you don't necessarily like more than anything else. And you get mad when anyone else has a different opinion from you. That's what it means to have an opinion. Opinions are like asses. Everyone has one. You just hate it when people don't have the same one as you. Because, oh, everyone has to hate G5. People like you are the reason why bronies have a bad name, or at least one of the reasons. But yeah, I said what I needed to say. If people, if Thundershy wants to fix things, they need to, they need to, if they want to fix things, they need to re-add me to the group that they removed me from unjustly. They need to apologize for their toxic behavior in my server and admit that they took their anger about G5 way too far. If they simply do that and admit that they are in the wrong, I will let this go. If they simply admit and try to fix things and actually right their wrongs. But if they don't, then they basically prove that I'm right about them and what they're doing. Because if they want to prove me wrong, then they will do the right thing and actually fix things. But if they don't, then there you go. It basically just proves that Thundershy is just a toxic asshole who cares more about G5, their hatred for G5, than anything else. So yeah, you have, if you see this, Thundershy, you have 24 hours to make things right. If you don't make things right within that time window, then you basically prove my point that you basically don't care about anything other than your hatred for G5. And yes, I'm literally using Queen Luna's method of fixing things. I'm giving them the small window of time to make things right. I hate to use this method, but I'm done playing games. If they want to act like a petty asshole, then I can act like a petty asshole too. You know, because of, like they say, what you give is what you get. But yeah, I said what I needed to say. If you like my content, please like and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next video.